am back with another video. Ooh, I spit a little bit. I got too excited. I got a little excited. Let me tell you why I'm excited today. Let me raise my voice. Let me elevate, okay? I am at 100 subscribers. Now, it might not be a lot to you, but to me, it's everything. When I say everything, I mean everything. I am at 100 subscribers. It's only up from here. The next road is 500. Then from there, we're going to get into the thousands and the 100,000s and then the millions. And I know we're going to do it all together. Why? Because you already on my train. You already here for the small milestones. Anyway, as you guys have seen in the title already, we're going to get right into this story time. Y'all seem to like the story times. And you know, I can keep giving you what you like. I'm gonna give you what it's supposed to give. You understand me? So, as you saw, the title was what it was. So I'm gonna take y'all back. Like, I'm gonna take you all the way back. So this specific incident occurred June 3rd, I wanna say 2003. I want to say 2003. So it was the last day of school on the last day of school of 8th grade year. So last day of school heading into 9th grade. Not really going to go into detail because that's going to be a separate story time as to what led up to that happening. But I'm going to tell y'all what happened, what my consequences was. I know it's a little backwards, but I need to get you in. I need to get you in first, and then we can go into, you know, everything else after that. So, long story short, I got in trouble at school on the last day of school. I brought something to school that I shouldn't have brought to school to protect me. I walked to and from school. I was having some situations, some issues with some people, some girls at the school, and I felt like I needed to protect myself, especially being the last day of school. You feel me? So, like I said, we'll do a separate story time on that situation and what led up to that, but we're not doing that today. We're going to talk about the consequences of my actions. I already got on the orange. Black is the new orange. Orange is the new black. Whatever, how it goes. I don't know. I don't even watch the movie. But anyway, not the movie, the series, the season. Don't judge me. Anyway, so, like I said, I got in trouble, brought something to school I shouldn't have brought, and I was, I guess you could say expelled, but not really expelled because I no longer was attending the school because I was in the 8th grade. So I was heading over to my 9th grade year. So I guess I got suspended the first 10 days of my first year in high school. I kind of didn't really even, I still came to school anyway because I did. But I got in trouble. So I got in trouble, and I got in trouble legally. Now, luckily, thankfully, I was still a minor. So there were restrictions. Like I said, I live in the state of Florida. There were restrictions. And what I brought to school wasn't so bad to where like they would charge me as an adult or someone got hurt. No one was hurt. No one was harmed in making this video. Nobody was hurt. It was just, I brought it to school for protection. They didn't believe me. Even if they did believe me, there's nothing I could do. I was on campus in possession of something I shouldn't have had. Big deal. Not big deal, but whatever. So, like I said, I got suspended for the first 10 days of school. I had to go to court. I had to go to court. I had a court date in the juvenile court system. And I was given probation. I was assigned a probation officer, juvenile probation officer. And the court gave me a list of things that I had to complete in order to fulfill my whatever as being a probationer. I don't know. It was weird. So anyway, so I had to write a letter to the school, let the school, you know, apologizing, like an essay, I really just did a paragraph. They said write a letter. They didn't specify how long the letter was. Now me, being me, I know how to write. I can write a letter, I can write an essay, I can write a book, a novel, all of that. I didn't do all that. I just did like a paragraph. Sorry for this, blah, blah, blah. Did it, got it sent off to the school. I had to do some community service hours. I did that. I think I did something with like the pet something, like a pet I don't want to say pet agency, but like, where is it where they go, where they take the pets, like, or they help, like the Humane Society, something like that. I did some volunteer work there. And I had to complete a jail tour. So that's what we're good. That's fast forwarding into what we need to talk about today, the jail tour. Like I said, if I get enough comments, if I get enough subscribers, if I get enough questions, I'll go ahead and, you know, fast forward it to the beginning as to what happened, what led up to me bringing what I brought to school, and we can go from there. Anyway, so I had to do the jail tour. I had to complete it. Like I said, I completed all the other stuff fairly quickly because I just wanted it to be done with, put it behind me. I was just over it. I wanted it put behind me. I was like, it was stupid, but at the end of the day, still about 15, 20 years later, I'm still here today, and I did what I had to do. I'm sorry it had to happen that way, but I did what I had to do to protect myself. I'm sticking to that. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it, okay? Anyway, so they assigned me to do a jail tour. So I was like, a jail tour? I didn't hurt nobody. I hadn't had a record. I had never been suspended. I had never been written up. I had never had as much as a detention. And I'm like, y'all doing too much. Like, I know I shouldn't have brought what I brought to schools against the law, but y'all you're doing too much. You're doing too much. Too much. So anyway, the probation officer told me, he's like, oh, well, you have to complete this jail tour in order for us to request for a termination of this whole probation thing, and you know, you won't have to, you know, deal with this anymore, be put behind you. So I'm like, okay, whatever, you know, I have to do it. So he's like, oh, well, the next tour is coming up within, I want to say it was like within like sometime in August, because the incident occurred early June. I had the whole summer, which I didn't get to do anything because my mom, well, she just, oh Lord, she's still talking about it to this day, y'all. Anyway, I remember not doing anything for the summer. My birthday's in the summer, so I didn't get anything for my birthday. Literally, birthday was like another day. And of course she talked about it, and I was like on punishment, but I was already like not really doing anything anyway. So it was punishment, but not really. Like I think it was like a friend's party that was coming up that summer. I had a birthday party, and she was like, no, you can't go. Of course I knew that, but I didn't really do a lot over the summer anyway, so it really wasn't a big deal. But I remember starting back to school. I remember going back to school, and I remember it being like mid-August, because we go back to school in like mid-August here. Back then we did. I don't know what's going on now. It's been forever. So I had to do the jail tour. Now, the jail tour was supposed to be at our local county jail, and let me think about it. It was at a local county jail, and it was like after school or whatever. So what ended up happening was, I think, so when I had to go, my aunt ended up taking me. For some reason, because I walked to school, to and from school. My mom worked, my dad worked. So I needed a ride to get to the tour. So my aunt ended up taking me. She's probably watching my video. Hey girl, hey. I'm not gonna say your name. But anyway, she ended up taking me or whatever to the tour. So we, I remember that day, I consciously thought about it, but I didn't consciously think about it. Because remember, I'm just only a 9th grader. I'm just a young teen. I'm not really, whatever. So when I got dressed that morning, I didn't think of it as like, okay, let me dress this type of way, because I know once I finish school today, my aunt's gonna pick me up and I'm gonna have to go to the jail tour. Like, you see a lot of stuff on TV, but I don't know, my mind just wasn't clicking to like, okay, you need to dress this way, you need to do this, this and this, or you need to, I don't know. So I had on like a jean dress. It wasn't super short, but it was like a jean dress I had on. And I was like, thinking, like after it happened, I'm like, I probably shouldn't wear a dress to a jail tour, but I didn't know what to expect, so I was just like, I'm already here. So anyway, my aunt came pick me up from school that day. She drove me over about maybe, I think it was like 10-15 minutes away from the school. Got to the jail, and mind you, I had never been to jail, never had any family members nobody in my family in my close, let me rephrase that, nobody in my close immediate family, that's what I'm looking for, immediate. Nobody in my immediate family had gone to jail that I know of. Knock on wood, but I don't. Not that I know of, because you know y'all like to keep stuff from the kids. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So I was like very much intimidated, when I first got there, because I was like, dang, this is jail. Like, this is jail. This isn't like a juvenile justice center. This isn't like a, this isn't the courthouse, because I had, mind you, I had been to the courthouse, experienced that whole situation. This is really jail. Like, these aren't like, I don't know what, it just kind of sunk in like, this is jail. When we pulled up, it was, of course, what jail would look like. It was this big tan building, about maybe 20, 30 floors up. Windows were like this, if you can see that, this long and across, and it was just 30 floors of that, like of several little windows across it. And it had gates and barbed wire, and I'm like, what the hell did I just get into? Oh Lord. Oh Lord, I'm really at the jailhouse. So I think I had ended up getting there early. So I think I remember going in, so I went parked in the parking lot. I went in, I got there a little early, because I went in, I went in and asked, I think it was like a deputy, an officer was at like this center table. And mind you, as I'm walking up to this jail, like, it's this long strip, and it's like it's like metal gates and barbed wire at the top, and everything is like, it's not just a regular gate like you have like a gate picket fence. No, this is gates that go all the way up, like, I don't know how many feet tall. Barbed wire, and the gates weren't open at the really top. Like, one part was open, but most of it was like a covered gate. So it was like a gate coming up longwise and a gate coming up widthwise. I think that's width, or covering it. It was weird, like a chicken shack. I was like, what did I get myself into? But I'm like, I'm already here. Number one. Number two, I gotta do it, because if I don't do it, it's a possibility they really might take me to a jail, because that's violating, you know, my conditions of what I'm under. Mind you, I heard of probation and all this stuff, but I'm a kid. I don't know what's going on. Like, it was just like an overwhelming feeling. But anyway, I got inside. The door, bam, slams behind me. I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm not doing this. I'm saying this in my head. I am not doing this. I'm finna go back to her car. I'm not doing this. They're gonna do what they gotta do. Mind you, I did it, honey. So I went in there, told the deputy, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm here for the jail tour that you guys scheduled today. I think it was like maybe, I don't know, so let's say 3 o'clock for reference. 3 o'clock. Supposed to start at 3, I think 3 or 4. And, you know, I'm here. My ride is outside. They want to know how long it's going to be, because, you know, so she can leave. And I think he ended up saying something like, it was like maybe 2 hours or so. So I went back out and told her, I think like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And she's like, okay, I'll be back. Try to call me or whatever. I think I might have had a cell phone at the time. I can't remember. No, I didn't have a cell phone. Or did I? I don't know. I can't remember. But she said to call her when I was ready. She'd come pick me up. So she left. And I'm standing there looking like Bobo the Fool, like, oh, I gotta walk back in here. So as I'm walking back in toward this long, like, narrow sidewalk up to the jail from the parking lot, some man, I don't even know what he looked like, because I was not trying to make eye contact. I was not even like, if I could have walked with my eyes closed, I would have. So I'm walking back up. Mind you, I had on, like I said, it was like a jean dress. So it was like a collared jean dress, dark wash jean dress. I remember it was like a Tommy Hilfiger one. It was like the popping at the time. That was like the thing to wear. And it went to like, it passed the knee test. But again, like I said, that morning I woke up, I wasn't thinking like, oh, you should probably wear like long jeans, a hoodie, something, you know, for jail. Anyway, so I was already like super uncomfortable as this man walked past me, because I'm like, I'm tall, I'm really skinny at that time. I was like a size 0, 2 or 0 depending. And he walks by me, and I'm assuming, to this day I still don't know, I'm assuming he was just getting out of jail, he was just getting released. And he walks by me, he was like something, he was like, you make sure you don't come back here no more, something like that. And I was just, mind you, that time my mouth was slick as oil, slick as a can of oil. But baby, I was so humbled. I didn't say nothing. I didn't look in his direction. I didn't even acknowledge what he said. I just started walking faster back up to to the office where I had originally gone. So I'm like, well, there at least there's some officers there. They can protect me if this man tried to grab me or something, and maybe I won't have to go to the jail tour. But anyway, so I walk back in. I go back in, and I'm at this desk, and I have, before I go to, so the man says, okay, you're back. You know, I tell him, hey, I'm back. I already took my ride. I had to walk through this huge, big, ugly metal detector. Like, I don't think I've ever walked through a metal detector outside of the courthouse. And mind you, again, the only time I've ever been to the courthouse was earlier when this whole incident first happened and I had to go to court. So, like, I'm just like, okay, walk through the metal detector. Everything was fine. I didn't have anything going off. And then they were like, oh, you have to put your stuff in this locker. And I think I might have had a purse or something, like something small, maybe a purse. I didn't have my backpack. I had like a purse maybe, and like maybe keys or something. So I put it in the locker, and he's like, okay, after that, and then he's like, go sit down. So they had to go sit in these like little plastic, uncomfortable behind chairs, but they were with those chairs that it's like maybe 5 or 6 chairs in a row, and they're all connected together. Weird. But I sat in it. It was nasty, y'all. It was disgusting. Imagine being in like a garage or a basement, and it didn't really smell. It didn't really have like a lot of trash everywhere. It just felt dirty. You just felt filthy. That was the feeling I had. So I'm sitting there in this chair, and I'm by myself at this point. And you know, eventually 10, 15 minutes, other kids, teenagers, preteens, whatever, start rolling in. And I think, I ended up seeing somebody I knew from like elementary school. This girl I knew from elementary school there. So I was like, oh, okay, I feel a little bit less, I don't know, worried. Like a tiny, minute amount of worry, because at least somebody here I know. Mind you, I hadn't seen this girl since elementary school, and I'm in high school now. But you know, in my mind, that made me feel better. So I want to say about maybe between 10 and 12 kids end up coming in. Some of them came in by themselves. Some of them came in like with their parents, like, come on, Billy, get your butt in here. You know it's the time to come here. You know, stuff like that. If my mom would have dropped me off, she would have been just like that. You know, come on. Well, ain't no need for you to be scared now. You weren't scared when you was doing it. Y'all. Thank goodness. I think she had to work that day. But anyway. So they all pile in, and this is about 20, 30 minutes later, everybody's all there, and one of the officers from behind that table that I had, you know, that was like in the center of this whole office/jail area, was like, okay guys, you're all here, I need you to listen to these rules. And he's going on to list the rules. I'm trying to, like, my eyes are open, I'm like, let me listen to these rules. Let me listen to these rules so I can make it out alive. Because I don't know what's going on in here. You got murderers, killers, rapists. Murderers and killers are the same thing. Anyways, you got rapists. You got all kind of crazy people up in here. People breaking out. You got the psychos. I need to listen to the rules. I need to be focused. All the other kids in the back, you know, you got the little cool kids. Yeah, dude, I don't care. No, baby, I need them in the front. I need to listen. I need to understand. We need to make eye contact, officers, so you know that I ain't supposed to be here. And I need you to get me out of one piece. That's where I was at. So anyway, so he gave us like a bunch of rules, like don't talk back to the inmates. Like the inmates may catcall you, or they may say something to you. You don't say anything to them. You don't make eye contact with them. Child, I already did that on my way in, so I already knew about that. Don't bring anything else in. Once we patted you down, because that's considered contraband, and you can go to jail, you can get in trouble for that. And I was like, Lord, help me. Mind you, I didn't have anything on me, but like that just messed up my mental to where like, oh my gosh, what do I have on me? Do I have anything else on me? Oh Lord, oh God, I don't want to go to jail. I ain't do it. I'm trying to think what other rules, like no food or drinks, whatever, common sense stuff mostly, but it was like just things like that. And just stay on, I think it was like you gotta stay to the right side of the wall. Always walk on the right side of the wall, single file line. Things like that. I can't remember all the rules, but those were like, remember the basic main rules. Always listen to the officer, always follow, you know, what we say, this, that, and the other. So, from there, he asked everybody if they understood, they had any questions. No. If you see somebody, one of the questions was like, if you see somebody you know in there, you cannot say hi to, you can't speak to them, or something like that. And I was like, child, I don't know none of these dang criminals up in here. I don't know these people, and I don't want to know these people. Get me out of here. So we all stand up single file line. We all have to stand up single file line. Like I said, it's about 10 or 12 of us. So we all have to stand up and we go through this first door. So this first door is open. It's like this big heavy door. When it closes, it goes boom. So we open it. He opens it with the key he has. We all stand on the right hand side, and he opens it. We all come in. Boom, it's closed. And then there's another door in front of us. So like basically it's like a hallway that's closed with 2 doors, and we're standing here. And I'm like, oh no. I don't have claustrophobia, but baby, I'm getting claustrophobia. I'm not okay with this. And I think once that door slammed, everybody got like that slap of reality, like, ooh, this is real. So then he opens the next door. We all walk through it, slam, boom. And then we walk towards the elevator. The elevator was weird. It was like, I don't know, if you have ever lived in an apartment building and like you're moving, like, or somebody's moving in the building, they'll have like these quilted, almost like sheet-like, but they're rubber or plastic, liners hanging up in the walls. That's what they had there. Me thinking what I was thinking, I was like, oh, this must be the psycho ward, because this people don't bang their head against the wall or something. Like, this feels like padded room. I don't know, but we all piled up in the elevator and we went to the one floor. The one floor was the floor for the holding. It was like a holding cell. The holding cell, he walks us in. We all gotta walk a single file line. All gotta stick together. The holding cell had like, it was really like what you see on TV. It was the jail bars. And there was a bunch of people behind it, and we were standing like on the opposite side. So the jail bars, the people were at, or it was on this side, and we were on this side. And they were like, stand further to this side. Don't let nobody, try not to let nobody touch you. Don't say nothing to nobody. Just listen to what I'm here to tell you. So he just basically walked past it. He's like, this is the holding cell. This is where you go once we searched you, once you first get arrested. This is where people come at to either get bonded out, or they're here to wait for their cell. They're gonna be here for a while. We don't allow this, we don't allow that. You get a bologna sandwich, milk, all this foolishness. And the people in there just like staring at us, like gawking at us like this. And I'm like, mind you, I still got on this dress. It's not that short. My legs are still out and exposed. It's dirty. And I'm in jail with the dress on. It's not that short, but still, it's jail. So they're just in there like just talking, like saying little stuff to us. I didn't say anything to none of them. I didn't want no parts of it. But like some of the other people, like I guess the cool gang was like, oh yeah, bro. I'm like, leave me out of it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Are we done? Can we leave? And honestly, that was really the only other like inmate interaction we had. But we were there for a good like 6-7 minutes talking about, this is what people, a lot of people come here and cry. A lot of people come here to sober up in this area. They call a bond out. Just going on and on and on. People are like, I don't know if they were like in on it, because some of the inmates were like putting their arms like through the little slits in the bars, like they were trying to touch us and reach out to us. And maybe I was standing so close to that wall, my body, you know how you got a fingerprint on your thumb? My whole body print was on that wall, because I was making sure I didn't get close enough, because I didn't want nobody to touch me. You're nasty. This is pre-Cove, okay? Don't touch me, don't look at me. Let's just go, guys, please. Let's speed it up. So then we go to, I think the next floor we were at was like we didn't go into, it was like a pod, but we didn't go into the pod specifically. We went into like where we could see the pod, if that makes sense. So it was like a door keeping us from seeing the pods where the inmates actually lived. But we were able to see like where they go do rec at, like where they play basketball and play cards and all this stuff, I guess for their free time, which the whole time there is free, if you ask me. But anyway, free time in jail. Huh. Anyway, so we saw that, and it was like outside. They have like the gates all, and the gates and the bars outside. And they had like 2 goals there, one on each end, but it was like dark, so you could barely, like there was like a hole this big for like sunlight to come through, and it was just depressing. and horrible. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't play basketball anyway, and I don't play sports, I don't play cards, so I definitely, like, again, in my head, I definitely do not want to be here because I can't do this. They showed us like one of the cells. Again, nobody was there, nobody was even around us, but they showed us like the door was closed, but they showed us like the inside of the cells through like the window. So the window was literally like this skinny all the way down. Again, big, huge, heavy door. The door had like a little slit where they put the food in, feed them, I guess, whatever they feed them. I think he said it's bologna sandwiches and milk or something disgusting that I ain't eating. Now I will eat a bologna sandwich if you fry it up and let me bite that red piece off. I'll eat that I made, but I don't do milk, and I'm not doing no cold bologna sandwich. So again, another reason why I was like, no, I'm not doing this again. Anyway, they showed us like where there's like 2 bunk beds, and there's like the toilet, the gray toilet, like you see on TV, silver gray toilet, whatever. You got to go to the bathroom in front of people, and talking about just nasty bathroom stuff in front of people. And I was like, oh, that's gross. And they were just explaining to us like how, you know, you don't have a say of what you want to do when you want to do it. You do what they say, when they say, how they say. And I was like, I'm free and I don't like to do that now. So again, not for me. And then I think, let me think what else. We went to, the last place that he took us to was, it was more walking than seeing stuff. To be honest, it was more walking because there were so many of us, and it was just in and out of elevators, just looking at different pods and, you know, talking about why you should do this, why you shouldn't do that. So the last floor I remember us going to was like the phone floor, or the visitation. So like the phones there were like you see on TV, they had like the little pay phone type phone hooked up to the wall, and then on the other side was where the inmate would talk to you, and it's like a glass, so you could see like all the inmates on their side talking, and then you right here. And then for each visitor they had like a slit, like a little wall up, so you talking, and it would like pick up the phone. And I was like, pick up the phone? This is dirty, this is disgusting, I don't want to touch this. Who been touching on this? Do you know been touching on it? No. Okay, so why you want me touching it? I mean, I know I was bad, I got in trouble, but dang, y'all trying to kill me. Anyway, I picked up the phone, and they were like, you know, this is how you have to talk to your parents or your loved ones if you do something bad, and you have to come to jail here, and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, okay, I've already learned my lesson. Did it once and never again, okay? But we sat there for a while, and then I think he sat there like with a timer, and he was like, this is how much time you would get, you know, if you were here. And I think it was like, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. It felt like hours. So he was like, you gotta sit here in silence and hold the phone and imagine, you know, if you were here, and, you know, because of the mistakes you've made and the decisions you've made and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, sir, nobody wants to listen to this story, because if y'all really listen to this story as to what happened, I really shouldn't have been here. I was protecting myself, but okay, whatever. So I sat there in silence and, you know, started thinking. And I was really thinking about what I was going to eat, because again, like I said, I'm not this hardened criminal. I hadn't done like anything crazy or bad before. This was just one time I messed up, and it was just really big. So once that was over, we all got up, walked back downstairs, and as we're walking, you know, he's just talking to us, just being inspirational, which I can appreciate. That, just trying to inspire us to, you know, what do you want to do when you grow up? Oh, I want to be a stripper. No, let me stop. Nobody said that, but you know, the whole, what are you gonna do when you grow up? What are you gonna do to change your life once you go back home? You know, what are you gonna do? You know, things of that nature. It was definitely, you know, interesting to see. It was, I won't say it was needed. I will say it was interesting to see. And I know now I'll never go to jail. So anyway, once we make it back downstairs, because like I said, the place is huge. They house men, women. They also house like mental patients in one floor. We, of course, we didn't go to that floor, but they were just, you know, explaining how their day to day. So we walked back downstairs, and we went back down. I went to the bathroom to wash my hands because it was so nasty in there, and it was just disgusting. Went back down to wash my hands. Once we got down to where we were initially when everybody first came in, went to the bathroom, washed my hands. I remember calling my aunt, telling her to come get me. For some reason, it took her a heck of a long time. Like, she didn't come pick me up. It was nighttime. It was nighttime, okay? I remember one, everybody else was really sitting in like the office area where I originally came in at, just waiting on their ride. And I was over it and done at that point, and I was like, no, I need to go. So I remember sitting out in the parking lot waiting for her. I don't know what she was doing, honey, but that was the longest wait ever. I tell you, ever. I sat out in the parking lot just waiting. And when I'm sitting out in the parking lot waiting, I can hear the jail people like banging on the windows. Remember I told y'all those little slit windows they have? Banging on the windows and I can't make out what they're saying, but they're making all kind of ruckus and noise. And I was like, oh, they trying to get out. Where is this lady? Please come get me. It's nighttime. She came to get me. I don't know if she fell back asleep, if it was traffic, I don't know. But listen, she said she was on her way. On your way, me, I'm around the corner, baby. She was not. It was not no around the corner. It was nighttime. And I saw like a bunch of, I guess people were coming out, in and out, because where I was sitting, there was a bunch of like taxi cabs back and forth, sitting out there, I guess, to pick the people up once they got out. And then I could see below, so I guess where I was walking that long sideway was like a bridge, and below that, like a troll was down there. Below that, you could see the police cars coming in to this part of the facility down below from where the jail was at. And you can see them driving in like this garage and taking the people out the car and putting them in the jail. I was like, oh no, it's nighttime. Cabs out here. I'm a 9th grader. I ain't have a job then. I ain't had no money. I was like, I would took a cab because I need to go. They got people coming in that just fresh off the street that's going into the jail. They probably trying to run away. It's time to go. So when I finally saw my aunt pulling up, baby, I started walking towards her car. She wasn't even close enough to where I should have just started walking. Meaning, I saw her drive through the parking lot, turn down in the parking lot, but I could have just stood there and waited, but I didn't because I was just ready to go. So I just started walking toward her. And I left, and she asked me, did you learn a lesson? Yes, ma'am, I learned my lesson. I ain't gonna do it no more. I ain't going to jail for nobody. Now, I will say, on those Scare Straight show, I guess maybe they do that different programs in different states, different locations, but we didn't go through any of that. Nobody was screaming in our face. Nobody was being disrespectful, telling us this, that, put Kool-Aid on your lips. None of that. We weren't having any of that. I don't even think they even asked us why we were there. Like, they didn't go down the list and ask us why we were there. They were just like, you're here because you was bad. Now here's your consequence. You're here to learn. But I mean, I appreciated it because, like I said, I'm an adult now. Not get in trouble. I don't do anything for me to get in trouble because I'm not going to jail. I'm not eating your nasty bologna sandwiches. I ain't doing it at all. Okay? Leave me out of it. I want no parts of it. But anyway, I figured I'd just share that with you guys. Just to be a little bit more transparent. Now, like I said before, I don't mind telling y'all the story as to what happened, as to why I bought what I bought to school and I got in trouble. I don't know. I'll tell y'all if I get enough comments or asking questions or any of that. I'll do a story time on that if I get y'all telling me that y'all want it. Otherwise, we're going to keep it moving. Not because I'm ashamed, because it was like over 20 years ago, but I don't know. It's just like the funner, interesting part, yes, I'm making up words, was the jail tour, and that's what I want to tell you guys about today. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Any questions, comments, go ahead and drop them down below. Make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell to be notified every time I drop some new heat, some new fire, because you never know. It might be a subject that you might be interested in. It might be something you might want to, Anyway, make sure you like my video too, please. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. And until next time, bye.